So we got our form up and running, but this duration field is not great because, like I said before, we're saving everything into this column as seconds. So, for example, if you went for an hour-long run, the value that should get saved in here should be 3,600 because there's 60 seconds in every minute and there's 60 minutes in an hour. 60 times 60 is 3,600, and it's going to be really terrible if someone has to type that in. So I'm giving this some thought here, and I think one way we can do this is to add an hours, minutes, and seconds fields, and then from that calculate the duration on the fly. So what I'm actually going to do is replace duration with hours without the E, and then for the minimum, well, I don't know if we'll do a minimum, but we'll do min 0, max 99. It's unlikely that you will run or bike or do anything for more than 99 consecutive hours. And the step should be 1. So like you shouldn't be able to put in like 1.2 hours because that's what the minutes and the seconds are going to account for. So let's just kind of do this real quick. So hours, minutes, but now we want to do 60, or actually I guess 59, because then at that point you would just increase the hour, you wouldn't go to 60 minutes. And we'll do this for seconds. Now if I go to our form, we don't have the duration, but if I do so date can be like distance or duration. Well, actually, you know what I'm realizing? We don't even have a distance in here. So before I get too far, oh no, duh, I just removed distance. But we don't have a duration. No, we have that here. Man, I'm confusing myself here. Yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it, okay, so distance. Did we ever have distance in here? I don't know if we ever did. Because what did I just delete? Was it duration? Gosh, it's too early for this. Well, regardless, what I'm going to do here is let's add in a distance. And it needs to be a number field. And we'll just do form control. We'll let them tell us everything else that matters. I went ahead and we have that distance field now, but it'd be nice if when we do hours, minutes, and seconds, it just calculates the duration for us. So one way we can do that is, let's go to the activities controller, and what we're going to want to do is basically create another before action method, and it'll be calculate duration, which doesn't exist yet, and we'll do def calculate duration, and we're going to do for now only on create, but we'll do it on update when we have an update. So this will run like basically here. That's how I kind of think of it anyway. So before all this stuff runs. So what we're going to want to do is let's throw a raise in here. So if I go in here and do today, because we have to have that filled out, leave everything, actually for hours, let's just do 3, 2, 1, create that. Should get an error, but we can see here hours is 3, minutes is 2, seconds is 1. So we have access to this. So that means we have access to the params hash in here. So if I do params activity, and then if I do hours, so what we can do here, and this is not going to be super dry. So we have that. You get minutes. And seconds. And let me just see what happens. So if I set that to blank, because what's going to happen is there's going to be times where maybe you don't add. Oh, actually, you know what? We can do a default value here of that. Because I'm thinking of like if someone didn't enter that information. Well, now I'm trying to think. Do we want to set the duration? That's a good point, because it kind of goes back to if I went and ran around a track, I know the distance is 400 meters, but maybe I don't know anything about how long I ran, and therefore I actually don't want to set zeros in there. Yeah, I gotta give this more thought. But anywho, so let's just do if params dot activities dot hours dot present. So we'll do calculated. Well, I gotta think about this here. So we want to do this, and then times, there's 60 seconds in every minute, and then there's 60 minutes in every hour. So if we had 1 hour, it'd be 3,600. Do calculated duration equals nil. And then we'll do calculated duration plus equals, because we want to keep adding it. Actually, I guess we can do it like that. Maybe we can even make this a one-liner. Let's see. I'm working through this right now, because I don't actually, I didn't prep for this, as you can probably tell. So minutes, but now we just want to do times 60. And then finally, seconds is just seconds, so we don't care about multiplying anything, but let's just do plus equals. So then calculated duration is nil. Then we want to do params activity. Now we want to set the duration equals calculated duration unless the calculated duration is nil. Let's just see what happens. And I'm gonna throw in arrays down here. Let's go through this again. So we'll do today, let's say 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 15 seconds. Create this. Okay, so interesting. Oh, you know why? Because we can't add something to nil. We'll set that to 0. And then it'll be unless calculated duration equals 0. Let's try that again. All right, so 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 15 seconds. Huh. String can't be. Oh, okay. It's because this right here is actually string. You need to do two integer. So let's just do this real rapid fire here. Two hours, 30 minutes, 18 seconds. Okay, we get to the bottom here. So let's just see here. So 2 hours times 3. So it should be, we should have 7,200. And then we should have, how many minutes did I do? 30. So 30 times 60 is 1,800. And then 15 seconds is 15 seconds. So all of this added up is 9,015. So hopefully calculated duration is that. Let's put that in there. Yeah, all right. And then if we do params, okay, so params duration is there. And we don't actually see it in here, but we set it here. Now I should say, I'm gonna be very transparent here. I don't know if this is like the Rails way, because setting parameters in the background, I need to look into like security with that, because someone could, if someone knew I was doing this, which they could because this is an open source project and I'm recording it, they could figure out a way to exploit this maybe. So instead of putting in an hour, they could put in like maybe some type of SQL code, but I don't know if that would actually, because Rails is pretty smart about sanitizing data anyways. But that's something I need to look into. So full disclosure right now, this may not be like the most secure way. I know one way to do it is through JavaScript. So I could do on each of those fields, like the hours, the minutes, and the seconds, I could listen for an event. I can add an event listener to those and then have a hidden field for duration, and then on the fly calculate that value. Which has its pros and its cons. I kind of like that this is happening server side though, in case JavaScript is disabled. And because of having that hidden field doesn't mean someone couldn't go in there and, add their own duration in there and bypass the calculation. But I digress. Let's go in here. Let's try this one more time. Let's try it one more time with the actual correct path. We'll do today. 2 hours, 30 minutes, 15 seconds, and it should be 9,015, which it is, so that's good. So let's go ahead and commit this. We'll just say let's say calculate duration on create. Save that, get status, and push it up. And I think that's a good place to leave off for now. We still need to write some tests and we need to build out the other views, but this is good now.